course, it would have already happened 5 times ago. We've tried 5 times to make that fight happen. Have they got amnesia? Have they forgotten? You know, many a times we've tried to make that fight happen. Every time we've reached the goal, they've moved the goal post. Many a times, you know, if we did that 5 times and they denied me. So I don't want to hear them talking about coming to see me because we came and saw you.
I honestly listen to what people say sometimes. They're avoided, this person's running. I honestly think some people are deluded. Really, I do think that they've got some sort of a long-term concussion.
Deontay Wilder directly calls out Anthony Joshua, claiming he was ignored and pushed aside in favor of Tyson Fury. He argues that Joshua avoided him and instead chose the Fury route, leaving no real path for redemption after that decision. In Wilder's eyes, this is not just politics but clear avoidance at the highest level of heavyweight boxing.
Yeah, but now you see him in America and it's not fighting the champion. Everything they've said and done has been contradictory. You know, everything, they're very compulsive liars. And, you know, I think I've proved that. I've proved many a time that I've tried to fight them and they've proved not one time that they've tried to fight me. So if he wanted to fight me, yeah, it would have been happening a long time ago. But now, he don't have nowhere to go. After this fight, where he go?
Deontay Wilder states that he does not care who respects him or not, because fans always tune in to watch him fight. He confidently calls himself the most exciting heavyweight in boxing, pointing out his power and knockout ability as unmatched in the division today.
I mean, I don't look at it, I don't look and see who respect me, who don't, you know. All I look at is when I'm getting ready to fight, I know they're gonna tune in. Whether you like me or you don't, you're gonna tune in to a great fight. I'm the most exciting heavyweight in the game, period. None of these other heavyweights doesn't bring the excitement, doesn't bring the power, doesn't bring the passion as a Deontay Wilder. And for that, whether you against me or whether you're with me, you're gonna tune in and see me display my talent amongst the millions that's gonna be watching, the thousands gonna be in an arena.
Duke McKeezy points out Deontay Wilder is still chasing big fights like Anthony Joshua instead of retiring. He warns it is a dangerous matchup, highlighting Anthony Joshua's power and size advantage in a potential heavyweight clash.
This way, Deontay Wilder knows how to sell a fight, and he's already called out Joshua. That's a big fight. I mean, like I said, I'd love to see him walk away from the sport. Wilder, I'd like to see him say, you know what, I've had enough, but he's already got his eyes on the next one, potentially a fight with Joshua. It's not a good fight to take. It's not a good fight to take. You know, Joshua's a big, meaty guy. Joshua's right hand's like probably the hardest. He's probably the hardest punching heavyweight right now. For me, personally, I think he hits harder than Wilder.
Deontay Wilder makes it clear that he feels no need to prove anything further regarding a potential fight with Anthony Joshua. He suggests that real boxing fans already understand who pushed for the fight and who avoided it. In his view, the narrative around this rivalry has always been shaped by missed opportunities and unanswered negotiations, and he believes history will reflect the truth when people look back at both careers.
I don't think I had to prove myself no more in this situation when it comes to me and Joshua fight. The world knows, the boxing fans that's really in it understand and know who really tried to make the fights happen and who didn't.
Johnny Nelson gives a strong opinion suggesting Deontay Wilder has lost his famous knockout power, claiming the TNT is no longer what it used to be. However, this kind of statement always splits opinion in boxing, because Wilder's history shows he only needs one clean punch to completely change a fight at any moment.
Right. Wilder's snapper's gone. Wilder's TNT has gone. Wilder's that punch is gone. He couldn't even let it go. He's just gone. So I don't believe that. I think Cole might be setting the cat amongst the pigeon.
Frank Smith highlights how every discussion in heavyweight boxing still revolves around Anthony Joshua and his next move. He makes it clear that Anthony Joshua remains the biggest attraction in the division, with promoters and fighters all waiting for his decision. This shows how much influence Anthony Joshua still holds despite the rising noise around other contenders.
It's all eyes on getting AJ whatever works best for him, whatever the right route back is for him. There's discussions ongoing. AJ's the hot ticket. You know, everyone wants to fight Anthony Joshua, so let's see what happens.
Johnny Nelson points out that the biggest fight available for Anthony Joshua is still Tyson Fury, and vice versa for Fury as well. He questions whether Tyson Fury is still at the level to dominate the heavyweight division, suggesting he may not be the same force he once was. This adds more doubt around how competitive the clash could be at this stage of their careers.
That we do finally get.
Nice one. Thanks, Spencer.
Cheers, guys.
Spencer Oliver there with the news that it is being teased by Turkey and Shake that AJ Fury is on. His opponent, Christian Prenga, the Albanian who fights out of the States, as Spencer.
Carl Froch strongly pushes the urgency of making Anthony Joshua versus Tyson Fury immediately, warning that any delay could ruin the moment. He argues the fight is already overdue and unnecessary warm-up bouts could risk injuries that would push the mega showdown even further back. His message is clear that boxing needs this fight to happen right away before it loses even more momentum.
We still want to see it now because it's AJ Tyson Fury. It's past his sell-by date, but it's still a big fight. These two should just fucking get on with it, get in there and get this fight made. And all this pre-fight warm-up bullshit is totally unnecessary. It's going to kill it. Anyway, let's see what transpires with the AJ Fury fight. I feel that if these two don't fight each other next, if AJ has a warm-up fight, he could, even if he's fighting someone who's a knockover, he might get injured, he might hurt his elbow, he might jar his shoulder or twist his neck, and he's going to need 2-3 months out. Then he's going to need another 3 months training camp. This fight gets further and further away from happening. This fight needs to happen now.
Max Kellerman makes a bold statement by calling this potential clash the defining super fight of the era. He points out that Tyson Fury has already proven himself as the standout heavyweight of his generation, while Anthony Joshua remains the other half of this massive British showdown. He also suggests Fury may still be closer to his peak compared to Anthony Joshua, which adds a layer of doubt about the competitive balance of the fight. Despite that, he still acknowledges the sheer scale of the event, calling it the biggest in British boxing history and showing why fans cannot ignore it no matter the debate around form or legacy.
Joshua, that's going to be the super fight of the era. You know, what wound up happening is Tyson Fury simply proved he was the best fighter of the era. And now, he's also obviously a Brit, Anthony Joshua, they're both still there. They create the biggest fight, at least the biggest event in British boxing history. And I think there is a sense that while the event will be the biggest in the history of British boxing, that Tyson Fury is closer to the peak of his powers than AJ, and even that the best version of AJ was not as good as Fury.
Derek Kazora brings his usual raw and emotional reaction, completely dismissing the idea of underestimating Anthony Joshua. He clearly believes that anyone stepping up and calling out Anthony Joshua is taking a massive risk, even suggesting Anthony Joshua would overwhelm them inside the ring. His comments reflect how respected Anthony Joshua's power still is among heavyweights. At the same time, Kazora's frustration shows how tired some fighters are of endless callouts without action. It reinforces the idea that if Anthony Joshua is fully focused, many believe he can still dominate anyone who steps in front of him.
Shit. Oh shit. Let's be honest about it. I heard what you said about my fight with Deontay. His fight was more shit than anything else. AJ's gonna eat him in fucking four or 5 rounds. He no power, nothing. It was shit. Fucking hopeless. Fucking, we were falling asleep.
Gareth A. Davies focuses on the logistical side of this massive fight, explaining that the agreement is in place, but the biggest question now is the venue. He highlights how important conditions will be for such a high-profile clash, suggesting that an indoor setting might be safer than risking unpredictable weather in the UK. He also mentions possible international locations like Riyadh, showing how global this fight has become. The uncertainty around location only adds more anticipation, as fans wait to see where this historic heavyweight showdown will finally take place.
They had agreed they were going to fight this year. Obviously, we now know the meat is on the bone now, so I don't know where it'll be. That will be the next big question. As you say, Q4, as you neatly put it. I think it will have to be indoors if it's in the UK or America. There's a retractable roof in Cardiff at the Millennium Stadium, so that potentially is the venue. I cannot see them risking a fight of this magnitude outdoors at Wembley Stadium in November. I mean, imagine the kind of weather that it could potentially be. So, given that obviously Turkey Al Sheikh's behind it, maybe it's a Riyadh season event in Riyadh in November, and they do crown a very big event in a large stadium there. and maybe, which is not out yet.
Amir Khan praises Tyson Fury's performance and highlights how important his return is for the heavyweight division. He suggests Fury looks sharp again after time away from the ring, which naturally builds momentum towards the long-awaited clash with Anthony Joshua. He also points out the intensity of their face-to-face moments, showing that both fighters are already mentally locked into the idea of fighting each other. For Khan, this is not just another bout but a defining British boxing event that could capture global attention if both men step in at the right time and in the right condition.
Tyson Fury was fantastic today. He boxed really well, and it's great to see that he's back on the scene again. And obviously, he boxed so well today, 2 years out the ring, or something like that. I think he's back now where we want to see that mega fight now with him and AJ. I think that fight could be next for both of them. What a massive fight that would be for British boxing. And let's see where it goes, man.
Simon Jordan breaks down the psychology behind the rivalry, pointing out that everything now depends on Anthony Joshua's readiness to face Tyson Fury. He suggests Anthony Joshua was fully aware of the pressure and expectations when sitting ringside, especially with Tyson Fury present. This adds a mental layer to the rivalry, showing that it is not just about physical preparation, but also about handling the spotlight and confrontation. The implication is clear that both fighters are already being pushed towards each other, whether they are fully ready or not.
Where the situation lies, which is up to Anthony Joshua, if he feels he's ready to fight Tyson Fury, then that fight can happen. But he may well not feel that, and I do think that ultimately Anthony, sitting there at ringside, would have known what was coming. Would have known there's an expectation for him to have some sort of interaction with Tyson Fury. Tyson Fury doesn't just arrive back on the scene and Anthony Joshua sit ringside and doesn't expect to have an interaction.
Alexander Usyk gives a surprising but confident take, backing Anthony Joshua to get the win if he faces Tyson Fury. His words carry weight because he has shared the ring with both men, so his opinion is not casual talk. He clearly believes Anthony Joshua has the tools to beat Tyson Fury when it matters most. This kind of statement adds even more fire to the debate, because Usyk is one of the most technical champions of this era. It also shows that opinions inside the elite boxing circle are still divided, making this potential clash even more unpredictable and dangerous for both fighters.
AJ win. Hey, the belly. You know? Where is he? AJ...
The Wade concept highlights the growing belief that the fight between Tyson Fury and Anthony Joshua is officially agreed, even if final details are still missing. He points out that both sides seem aligned, which increases confidence that this mega fight is truly happening. However, he also admits there is still uncertainty around the exact venue and date, showing that negotiations are not fully complete. The mention of possible locations like Wembley or a late-year timeframe keeps fans guessing and adds more anticipation to an already massive heavyweight showdown that could define an entire era of British boxing.
The first poster probably won't be the poster, but they're saying done deal, Tyson Fury, Anthony Joshua, Q4 2026. So I like that we are officially signed. By the way, why am I trending? What did I do? That's gotta be somebody else, right? Dwayne Wade, somebody else? There's no way. Why? That makes no sense. They've signed this fight. Apparently both sides have, which is good, but we don't have a venue yet. We don't have a date. I assume it'll be Wembley. I assume it'll be December or November, something around that time frame. Ade
Oladipo breaks down the ideal preparation path for Anthony Joshua before stepping into a massive clash with Tyson Fury. He explains that Anthony Joshua needs a strong fight camp and a tune-up bout to reach peak physical and mental condition. This approach is especially important given the pressure and setbacks Anthony Joshua has faced recently. The plan suggests a summer return followed by a huge November showdown, showing a clear roadmap towards one of the biggest fights in heavyweight history. It also highlights how carefully everything must be timed to ensure Anthony Joshua enters the Fury fight at his absolute best.
It was always Fury this year. That plan looks like it's still going to be kept to. All that changes is type of opponent. Now, is this guy, Christian Prenga, better than Rico Verhoeven? I mean, he's been boxing longer than Rico, I'd like to think.
Eddie Hearn outlines the clear strategy being built around Anthony Joshua's comeback path, suggesting a warm-up fight before the huge Tyson Fury clash. He compares it to what Tyson Fury himself has done in the past, using easier fights to prepare for major events. The plan is simple but effective, with a potential July return leading straight into a November super fight. This shows how carefully managed Anthony Joshua's comeback is being structured to ensure he is physically sharp and mentally ready for the biggest challenge of his career against Tyson Fury.
Netflix, everybody. So I think they'll be looking at a slightly easier option for Anthony Joshua to, like Tyson Fury had, with all due respect, and then move straight into that fight.
So you're looking at AJ fighting this warm-up in July and then Fury in November?
100%.
So that's the plan?
That's the absolute.
Johnny Nelson stresses that Tyson Fury versus Anthony Joshua is still the biggest fight in boxing, regardless of all other heavyweight matchups. However, he warns that timing is critical, because if the fight is delayed any further, one of them could lose and the whole event could lose its magic. He strongly believes Anthony Joshua should go straight into the fight without any warm-up bouts. In his view, this clash is even bigger than anything involving Alexander Usyk, showing just how massive and historic this all-British heavyweight showdown is expected to be.
Regardless of all the heavyweights around the world, it is the biggest fight in boxing to it, even now. But you can't leave it too long. You know, and we've had the Gypsies warning. AJ got turned over. Fury's been retired. Now that you've got the chance for this to happen, you can't leave it too long, because one of them lose. That is no longer the biggest fight in boxing.
So AJ doesn't get a warm up.
And you know what? I think AJ and Fury is bigger than anybody you put in.
This fight between Tyson Fury and Anthony Joshua is more than just a heavyweight clash. It is a defining moment for an entire generation of boxing. Everything is on the line, including legacy, pride, and who truly rules British boxing history. If Anthony Joshua wins, it reshapes his entire career and silences every criticism about pressure fights and big stage moments, proving he can still conquer the very best. If Tyson Fury wins, it reinforces his dominance as the most complete heavyweight of this era and shuts down any debate about who stands at the top. Mentally, it becomes a battle of discipline against unpredictability, with Anthony Joshua relying on structure and power while Tyson Fury thrives on experience and psychological control. At this level, one mistake changes everything, and one moment creates history. This is the kind of fight fans have waited years for, and it finally feels like it is getting real. Now it is your turn. Who takes it and why? Tyson Fury or Anthony Joshua? Drop your prediction in the comments and be part of this heavyweight debate that could define boxing forever.